Very good evening, students. In this session, we are once again going to discuss about the next lesson in supplementary, that is Journey to the End of the Earth. The lesson belongs to a journey by the South writer Tishani Doshi, who was on Russia's research visit during the secondary students, and she visited Antarctica, the coldest, windiest, and the driest continent in the world. It was program and ice. Through this program, the writer visited there and whatever she has observed there discussed in the lesson. In the beginning, the lesson describes about the historical background of Antarctica. When it was a warm place in the beginning, when the creatures like dinosaurs were at that time, and it was Gondwana, the amalgamated land mass, when there were high temperatures and the creatures like dinosaurs, mammoth were survived at that time. And there were huge variety of flora and fauna at that time. For the millions year Gondwana thrived, and after that the mammals got underway when the climate became cool. And it was a rare place to understand what was in the beginning. And later on, the writer Tisani Doshi started her journey from Madras to the Antarctica. Let us discuss about Antarctica. As we know, it was an amalgamated mass in the beginning of the earth, and finally it shaped the countries like today. The most important fact about the Antarctica is that it maintains the temperature of the earth. For few times it has been seen because of the overpopulation, there is overconsumption of the four biological system, and because of this there is a threat of the global warming, and after the threat of the global warming it is the risk factor for melting the glaciers, causing the coastal town to be shrink. Hence we are going to discuss about the some important points that reflect especially as the questions perspective, and the most important one, the phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are those single celled plants that nourish at least 90% of food chain of the marine animals. And these single plants participate in an important process called photosynthesis and wondrously produce a carbonic organic compounds glucose to produce as a food. And in spite of all this, these are very important. And on the other hand, the scholars, the scientists mention that there is the depletion of the ozone layers, and they want if there is a further depletion in the ozone layers, there is a threat of global warming, and also the and because of the threat of the global warming, there is the risk of the living creatures also on the earth. And we have to move. The next important topic is the program on the ice. The writer Tisani Doshi visited the Antarctica. It also based on the program on ice. It was first headed by the Canadian Joprine, who was tired of courting the celebrities, retired men, and also the old ones, because they evaluate a little about it, and there was no a comfortable response by them. That's why the writer decided this time to go in such kind of a tour. And the Canadian Job Green, through the student program ICE, decided to secondary students to visit the Earth's important perspective so that they can understand the important process, that is the climate change, that is the threat of global warming, and also a lot of harm done to the surroundings. The secondary students are the curiosity seekers. They will understand the importance of the process after knowing all kind of activities, and they will also aware the people here to understand about the planet and how to protect it. It was the program Arise. And definitely now we move to the perspective of life on the earth. Antarctica is a very important place because it is pristine, because of the lack of diversity, and human cannot stay here as far as this. Let us talk about the human impact on the earth, on the planet. Before humans' arrival, each and everything was in a peaceful atmosphere, in a natural process, and since the human has arrived on the earth, it made a ruckus, it made a chaotic conditions with a dominance of on this earth, itching to find out the surroundings as well as the entire perspective on the earth. And hence the human has created a lot of problem for the entire environment. Nowadays, because of the burning fuels, there is a thick layer of the carbon dioxide around us. And because of the pollution, slowly or steadily, the temperature of the earth is increasing. And because of this, we understand that there is a threat of global warming. And because of the global warming, there is an untimely climate change. Sometimes we see that there is heavy rain, sometimes there is drought, and sometimes there is imbalance of the things in the atmosphere. And for this, the human has made left us battling with other species. Human has a great impact on. Now we have few words in Hindi for the lesson Journey to the End of the Earth. जर्नी टू द एंड ऑफ द अर्थ दक्षिण भारतीय लेखिका तिसानी दोषी की रूसी अनुसंधान जहाज पर की गई एक यात्रा है जो धरती के उस छोर की यात्रा है जहाँ पर बर्फ ही बर्फ है। ये मद्रास की भूमध्य रेखा से उस क्षेत्र की ओर आरंभ हुई जहाँ पर 9 समय विभाजक बिंदु, 6 भूखंड और 3 भाग पानी यानी जल है। इसमें लेखिका बताती है कि जो अंटार्कटिका है ये आरंभ में एक मिश्रित भूभाग था जहाँ पर तापमान अधिक था और डायनासोर जैसे जीव विद्यमान थे और ढेर सारी वनस्पतियाँ और जीव अंत में थे। कालांतर में इन जीवों का लोप हो गया और धरती पर स्तनधारियों का आना आरंभ हुआ। धीरे धीरे ये विशालकाय जो हिमखंड थे ये टूटते गए और दुनिया को आज वर्तमान जैसा आकार प्रदान किया। इसमें लेखिका बताती है कि जैसे जैसे वो भूखंड अलग हुए मध्य में एक ध्रुवीय धारा आ गई जो इसे ठंडा बनाए हुए है, यानी धरती की सतह को ठंडा बनाए हुए ताकि इसका तापमान न बढ़ सके। जब तक मानव इस धरती पर नहीं आया था सब कुछ शुद्ध था और सब कुछ प्राकृतिक यानी स्वाभाविक रूप से चल रहा था। जैसे ही मानव का इस धरती पर आगमन हुआ उसने प्राकृतिक संसाधन का अत्यधिक दोहन किया और इस प्रकृति को अपने नियंत्रण में रखने की उसे खुजली सी लग गई और उसने यहाँ पर अशांति पैदा कर दी जिससे अन्य जीव जंतुओं को खतरा हो गया और प्राकृतिक असंतुलन पैदा हो गया। वर्तमान में देखा जाए तो फाइटोप्लैंक्टन ऐसी एक कोशिकीय वनस्पति है जो लगभग 90% समुद्री जीवों के भोजन का पोषण। If we talk about humans' arrival on this planet is concerned, the prognosis is not good because human had overconsumed the natural resources and also left us other species battling with us. We can understand that there were the many creatures departed from this planet because of the lack of natural atmosphere. And it is our planet, we must understand that we have to protect it. And after reading this lesson, we find out that Antarctica is a safe zone, a kind of place which protects us from the burning temperature. And it is necessary to protect Antarctica to maintain the living existence on the earth. So the lesson journey to the end of the earth was based on Tisani Dothi's academic tour on Russian research vessel to the end of the planet, to respect the planet, to understand the planet, and to aware the others about it, that they must understand the threat of the global warming and a cause of unnecessary climate change, a cause of the existence of the other living being to be extinct. So it is our duty that being a human being, we must understand the importance of other living beings and to protect our earth. And hence, we वैज्ञानिकों ने सावधान किया है कि अगर ओजोन की परत में आगे फिर से क्षय हुई तो फाइटोप्लैंक्टन के क्रियाकलाप पर असर पड़ेगा और समस्त जो है खाद्य श्रृंखला चरमरा जाएगी और यहाँ तक कि जीवों का अस्तित्व भी विलुप्त हो सकता है। इसलिए जो है ओजोन परत को क्षय होने से रोका जाए। तिसानी दोषी जिस कार्यक्रम के तहत गए उसका नाम था विद्यार्थियों का बर्फ़ पर आना, और इसी वजह से जो माध्यमिक स्तर के विद्यार्थियों को दिया जाएगा ताकि वे अत्यधिक इसमें रुचि लें और बड़े उत्साह के साथ वे इस धरती पर जीवन के महत्व को समझेंगे, विशेषकर जलवायु परिवर्तन को जो अंटार्कटिका में पूरी तरीके से परिलक्षित हो रहा है, जहाँ पर अनेकों प्रकार से हिमखंड बनते और बिगड़ते दिखाई दे रहे हैं। अंटार्कटिका अपने आप में एक अजूबा है, एक रहस्य है और परीक्षण के दृष्टि से, प्रयोग के दृष्टि से अत्यंत विशुद्ध स्थान है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जैव विविधता का अभाव है। तिसानी दोषी ने यहाँ पर इसकी जो जलवायु की विशेषता है उसके बारे में बताया है कि यहाँ पर अनेकों प्रकार के वायुमंडल हैं और इस विविधता और विशुद्धता के कारण अंटार्कटिका आज भी वो स्थान है जहाँ पर हम वर्तमान, भूत और भविष्य के बारे में जान सकते हैं। ये एक विशुद्ध स्थान है जिससे हम वर्तमान में रहते हुए भूत की स्थिति का पता लगा सकते हैं। अतः ये जो पार्ट जर्नी टू द एंड ऑफ द अर्थ है, ये प्राकृतिक उन दृश्यों का चित्रण कर रहा है और हमें उस उत्तरी ध्रुव की ओर बता रहा है जहाँ पर ये धरती अपने आप में सुरक्षित है और इसके बढ़ते तापक्रम को बचाया जा सकता है अगर हम अंटार्कटिका को इसी प्रकार विशुद्ध रखेंगे। अन्यथा बढ़ते हुए तापक्रम के